public commemorations have continued in Tamir for those killed during 2015 attacks by ISIS. The ceremony began with a minute of silence and a military parade by the Assyrian Military Council, and was attended by local political and military dignitaries. The 23 of February event commemorated both Christians killed during ISIS attacks and Kurds and Arabs who fought and died to defend the region. It followed on from an event the day before, focusing on the Christian minority who were at the heart of much of the violence. ISIS slaughtered hundreds of Christians in north and east Syria and across the region, attempting to eradicate the religious minorities. Tamir and the Kabur Valley, home to Syriac and Assyrian Christian communities, who were among the region's first settlers, were a focal point of these assaults. Speaking on behalf of the local associations of martyrs' families, Mohammed Sheikh Mus said, "We are all still resisting on our own lands, thanks to those who have sacrificed their lives. Young and old, we fought back and saved the land from ISIS." At this conclusion, poetry was recited and candles lit and placed on the graves of the dead. Students at Akdeniz University in Turkey's Antalya province have condemned a recent racist assault on Kurdish students at the higher education institution. Akdeniz, or Mediterranean University, is a leading higher education and scientific research center of the West Mediterranean region of Turkey. Kurdish students at the institution say they suffered a violent attack by a group of 30 people in what they described as a racially motivated assault. Speaking at the Olbia Square in the university, students stated that the racist group were acting with impunity on the campus and that the police were refusing to act over the issue. The students vowed to stand up to the violent attacks, marching through the campus and chanting slogans including "Akdeniz will become a graveyard for fascists." Kurdish students, along with workers, members of civil society and others, face systematic racism throughout the Turkish educational system. Russia has conducted a further repatriation of 9 ISIS-linked children, meaning the European country has now brought home 244 ISIS-linked children from north and east Syria. A Russian delegation led by the deputy chairman of the Commission on the Rights of the Child of the President of the Russian Federation, Sergei Igorevich, visited the Foreign Relations Bureau of the Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria. It is the 8th repatriation conducted by Russia, according to the AANES. While Russia is a world leader in repatriating children like many other states, it is failing to repatriate adults, women, and particularly male fighters linked to ISIS, who continue to present the largest security threat. A recent breakout at an ISIS detention facility in Hasaki, which resulted in hundreds of deaths and escapees, highlighted the gravity of the situation. The ISIS situation poses a threat to the whole world, not just NES, said Abir Aliya of the Foreign Relations Bureau. Those who have not yet been tried are like a time bomb waiting to explode, as evidenced by the events in the Sina's prison in Hasaki. The Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria continues to work with governments around the world to repatriate ISIS-linked foreign nationals being held in Hol camp. At least 8,482 third-country nationals remains in Hol camp, alongside around 20,000 Syrians and 30,000 Iraqis. The AANES continues to call on foreign states to do more to resolve the humanitarian political crisis in Hol camp, in particular by repatriating their own nationals.
Boğazların kontrolü Türkiye'de olduğu cihetle Karadeniz'in tamamen bir NATO gölü olacağından da bahsederek sınırlarında böyle bir yayılmacılık istemiyor. Sadece NATO'nun genişlemesi değil, Rusya ayrıca arka bahçesi dediğimiz bölgede Batı ekonomileriyle entegre olmuş, demokrasi yolunda adımlar atmış, mesafe almış ve askeri ya da savunma bağlamında da Batı ile ittifak yapan ülkeler görmek istemediğini belirtiyor. Yani Rusya bunun kabul edilemez olduğunu söylüyor. Bunu söylerken de bu benim diyor toprak bütünlüğüme ve egemenliğime bir tehdit. Çünkü ben Batı'da tabii burada Batı değerleri, demokrasi, insan hakları, kadın hakları gibi o genel geçer klasik savlarla Rusya'nın etkisi ya da tahakkümü altındaki bölgelerdeki demokratikleşmenin önünü açmaya çalışıyor. Buna mukabil Rusya'da bu konuda bugüne kadar bir örnek var mı? Referans alabileceğimiz var mı? İşte Irak mı dönüyor? NATO ile birlikte Afganistan mı dönüyor? Suriye mi dönüyor? Libya mı dönüyor? Bir dönemlerin eski Yugoslavya'sı mı diye sorguluyor. Yani burada tırnak içinde Batı değerleri ya da demokrasi, insan hakları, evrensellik boyutlarıyla ilgili söylemleri Rusya verdiği örneklerle çok kolay boşa çıkartacak bir tavır sergiliyor. Şimdi birincisi, Türkiye bence henüz krizin tam olarak adını koyabilmiş durumda değil. Öncelikle bunu ifade edelim. Krizi Ukrayna ile Rusya arasında bir kriz olarak düşünüyor. Ve bu nedenle de Rusya ile Ukrayna arasında arabuluculuk tekliflerini gündeme getiriyor. Minsk Anlaşması çerçevesinde bu sorunun uluslararası boyutu olan bir sorun olduğunu belirtiyor. Dolayısıyla benimle Ukrayna arasında bir sorun olmadığı için arabuluculuğa da ihtiyacım yok gerekir diyor. Yani Rusya-Ukrayna krizi diye bir kriz yok. Rusya'nın perspektifinden teknik anlamda bakacak olursak. Dolayısıyla Türkiye'nin bu çağrısı da karşılıksız kalıyor maalesef. Yani Türkiye'nin kendi milli çıkarları ya da kendi ikili ilişkilerini, Rusya ile olan ilişkilerini bir bağlamda ötelemesine ve riske atmasına neden oluyor. Diğer sorunlar, Rusya ile Batı ve NATO arasındaki, ABD ile NATO arasındaki sorunu arabuluculuk teklifi varsa Türkiye'nin, ben böyle bir teklif olduğunu duymadım. O halde burada NATO veya ABD ile aynı safta olan Türkiye, bir taraf olarak elbette en çok zarar görecek ülke. Ben eminim Türkiye'de en az Ukrayna kadar bu krizden ve bu savaştan zarar görecek ülke. Türkiye bu noktada tarafsız kalamadığı halde arabuluculuğa söylüyor. Böyle de enteresan da bir yaklaşım var.
Comprehensive plans for 2 weeks of events around 8th of March International Women's Day have been announced in North and East Syria. The program was announced in joint statements read in Qamishlo and Raqqa, the region's largest Kurdish and Arab majority population centers respectively. The declaration made on behalf of the Platform for Joint Activities of Women's Movements and Organization AANES was read in both Kurdish, Arabic, and the third official language of Syriac. 8th of March will be celebrated across North and East Syria with special seminars, panels on the local and regional level, including online events, and a special day of celebration on 10th of March for the region's autonomous women's structures. In addition, 1st of March will see a visit to the graves of those women killed fighting against Turkey and other opponents of NES. The political system in NES, which is based on the principles of the Kurdish liberation movement as instigated by imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan, places a special importance on women's autonomy, liberation, and self-determination. The region famously requires all public positions to be filled by one man and one woman in the so-called co-chair system, alongside autonomous women's organizing in the political, military, and civil society fields. In a statement, the platform said, "Women have been subjected to all kinds of violence, oppression, and slavery. To break the will of women all over the world, especially in the Middle East, by authoritarian regimes, the occupying Turkish state, and extremist organizations. But the fire of struggle has never died down, and the greatest proof of this is in the revolution in North and East Syria." Farmers in North and East Syria have called upon the Autonomous Administration Agricultural Board for more support due to the lack of rain across the past 2 years. Speaking to local press, agricultural workers in the southern Hasaki region called for provision of fuel oil, fertilizer, and water to combat difficult geographical and meteorological conditions made worse by Turkish political pressure. One farmer said he had received only a quarter of the amount of fuel oil he needed for his agricultural fields, while another called for dams to be opened in order to distribute more water into agricultural regions. Lack of rainfall has been compounded by both ISIS' campaign of burning wheat fields and other agricultural land across the region, and Turkey's use of water resources as a weapon of war against NES. Turkey has both seized control of the key water station at Aluk, which it uses to control and systematically sewer the flow of water to hundreds of thousands of local residents and farmers, and intentionally reduce the water flow into the Euphrates River. Responding to the complaints, autonomous administration officials said they were working to provide farmers with more support.
يعني حتى انها تشتي بلاف كريل ديركي وك سمادا ديركي حتى انها ما 1300 طن بلاف كريه الديركي يعني نيزي 400 طن الجمامايا تاني نعمل ديركي دين يعني من دوزاين سر شركات تيجي باعتبار كميه هاتي قشتي الفيديل دي مستودعات ديركي بايابو.
Work is underway to continue distribution of fertilizer and fuel oil across NES, as well as digging new wells and ensuring they have the fuel they need to operate effectively, officials have said.